Hello there guys, Wayne here from Luna's World. It's been a minute and I apologize for the lack of content. I've just been really busy, the run up to Christmas and everything. But yeah, here we are, and actually we're not going flying today, so let me just jump into the drone view. We're at London City, and as you know, as you can see, the reason you've clicked on this video maybe is because we're going to be checking out the brand new seasons changer, I don't know what else to call it, by Rex. It's called Rex AccuSeasons. And what this does is it replaces, as far as I know, just the vegetation in terms of the coloring, the height, and the general look and feel, and in some cases the complete trees altogether, to create a more dynamic experience of seasons within Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's interesting, isn't it? Because Microsoft Flight Simulator does a lot of things really well, but there are some huge gaping holes in what it doesn't do. And one of those things is seasons. Even though we can have snow, we can have everything else, but the textures underneath don't really change. Now, as far as I know, that's still the case with this program. I think this just only looks at the trees and changes the trees, but it's got to be worth a look. And my thoughts on this are, well, let's look at Rex, the actual company, because I'm a big fan. You know, I've used Rex, both the weather injection system and the cloud art system back in Prepared, and it was one of those things where when you use it, you're like, I can't fly without it. That's because really the weather system in Prepared was pretty diabolical. That took care of a huge gaping hole in that sim. I think Microsoft or Azobo are going to get round to sorting out the seasons and textures and things in the sim at some point. I haven't checked the roadmap on when that is, but I think it is. They are working on that. I'm just going to move out of the way of that noisy truck down below. We're in London, by the way, if you hadn't already guessed. And this is the 19th of December, so happy Christmas, everyone. That's really crept up on us, isn't it? Or me, anyway. This is London City, of course, so I thought it'd be a nice area just to check out some of the vegetation and the changes. So one of the annoying things, let me just bring up the sim here. Now, not the sim, this is what the Rex AccuSeason looks like. In fact, it will look more like this. And you've got all these different presets, which look really nice. I guess for sort of different parts of the world. Celtic Spring, as you can see, is going to give you a very green, luscious kind of vegetation. And you can scroll through summer. Now, forgive me if I'm being dumb here, but okay, so this looks nice. This looks like it's really having a nice effect on the actual trees here, and we've got a mixture of brown, reds and greens, and that's kind of cool. But the difference between spring and summer, I mean, I don't know that there is much of a difference in terms of the actual trees and the volume of the vegetation, the leaves and things like that. So the main differences you're probably going to see are between sort of maybe summer, fall and winter. I don't know, I might be wrong, and this is going to need further investigation. But one of the annoying things is, and again, this is not a reflection on, oh, that looks nice. This is not a reflection on Rex AccuSeason at all, but in order to see these presets, you have to load them before the sim. So that means if you want to fly somewhere and then you go somewhere else and you want to change, you know, maybe into a particular set because you like the look of it, you're going to have to exit the sim and reload it and then reload it back up. That's kind of super annoying. I just wonder whether I'm saying X-Plane because I have that on my mind, but I wonder whether Microsoft Flight Simulator will implement a similar thing to X-Plane, whereby you can reload just the textures or the art or the aeroplane in maybe a special kind of, you know, the dev mode or whatever. Maybe that already exists and I'm just being a derp. I don't know. If that does exist, let me know, because having to reset the sim every time you want to change this is super, super annoying. I just don't think I'm going to do it. I just don't think it's worth the time. Now, this is an interesting button. Automation. This is probably where this really comes into its own. So this will actually, if you enable it, it will sync the app to your Windows time and date, and then it will change the presets or install presets based upon your location and time of year. So it's basically a set and forget kind of a thing. That's really appealing to me. That's where this comes into its own. I just don't think I'm going to be able to remember to start this before the sim and then change, and then it's not going to happen for me. This maybe is kind of like a nice little preview, I guess, of what you're going to get in particular areas. Now, there are certain areas where the trees are actually fully replaced. I think in Iceland, for example, they've replaced certain type of trees in there to really, represent that area. The same in Australia as well. So maybe that's going to expand as this gets developed more. But for me, automation is the way forward. Anyway, let's jump out of Microsoft Flight Simulator. That's nice. Let's go with that. So we're going to Patagonia. We're not really in Patagonia though, are we? Does that matter? Bonfire. We'll go with bonfire. There we go. But we're not in a mountain or... Okay, hang on. See, this is the problem. Would be cool if it suggested what to use, like based on where you are, where the sim is. I mean, that's maybe asking a bit too much. Okay, we'll go with bonfire. So I'm going to apply to sim, and then you get this, you can refine the experience here. We're going to go neutral colors. Tree height will keep default. Deciduous tree canopy type, default will do. And we'll go ahead and do that. Now, we're not going to see it change here, unfortunately, like I said, but yeah, it takes next to no time in order to inject those new textures and files in. Now, what it doesn't say is that, you have to reset your sim in order to see the effect, which I would have thought might have been worth putting in, because maybe some people don't know. I'm just going to check, actually. Where can I get into dev mode? Can I get it from here? I don't think I can. Okay, hang on. General options. Let's just turn that on. Is there a way now where I can just reload the textures? Guys, maybe if you know, because if there is, that would be absolutely amazing. I just don't think there is. Yeah, so it looks like we have to exit the sim. So I'll bring you guys back once we are loaded back, and I'm going to keep the time of day the same date, and we'll see what that looks like. Okay guys, so we are back, and yeah, let's jump up and have a look. I can already see some beautiful brown tones there to the trees, and overall, yeah, looking very nice. Yeah, that's a nice effect. It's a nice effect. That does give a sense of, seasons. And also, of course, one of the elements that people forget is, to be honest, the ground textures, apart from snow and, rain, I mean, textures aren't really going to be changed that much. Whereas vegetation, lighting, and of course, weather are. So if we want to create a really, nice looking, let's see, like, where are we? We're in, I think I selected an autumn vegetation. So autumn in the UK normally means windy, rain. Oh, here we go. Look at this. So typical. Oh, we have everything but autumn. Wait, frosty winter. Oh, there we go. Autumn day. So this is using, I forget the name of the app, but now that to me is absolutely an autumn day in the UK. It looks absolutely beautiful. And those trees really come to life. I know they haven't changed, but it's just, seasons are not just about one particular thing, it's a combination. And like I said, textures, in terms of ground textures, I don't really think they're going to change much. You know, length of grass might, I guess, but in an airport, you know, the grass is kept very, very short. But that to me is an absolute beautiful scene, autumn scene here in the UK. So guys, I think that's let's just get up close and have a look at these trees actually. That does look very nice, I have to say. And they're done beautifully. Very nice. And the other thing to mention is that these trees, or this app as a whole, they don't have any impact on FPS whatsoever, which is very nice, because we don't want that. We do not want that. But as you can see, yeah, it's interesting how they've done that. I think they're dynamically moving as I'm moving, but anyway, I don't know. I don't want to get into how they've done that because I literally have no clue. But that to me is an absolute beautiful scene there. And if you've got the same trees static throughout, you're just not going to get that same effect. So I guess my final thoughts, let's just move out of this, get out of this building. My final thoughts for this add-on is, the negatives are the fact that you can't load in the presets while the sim is running, and that is no fault of the program. It's the SDK, it's how the sim works basically, and I hope Azobo can implement something to make that a reality, just like in X-Plane, where if you want to change a particular, I don't know what you'd call it, POI or element within the sim, you can do an art reload instead of a full sim reset. Going to save a ton of time. Anyway, the automation button for me, let's just go back here, I think is what I'm going to be using the most. It's just, you know, set and forget. And I'm guessing it's going to use or mix up some of these different scenes depending on where you are in the UK. I'm not sure how that algorithm will actually work, but I'm going to trust it and just set it. Is it better than default trees? 100%. Absolutely. Does it change the feel, the dynamic of the actual scene as you're flying? Yes. Do you spend all your time looking at trees, you know, as you fly? Well, of course not. But look at that. I mean, it does really look beautiful. So I guess the question is it worth $24.95 for you to enhance the trees? Because that's essentially what it does, as far as I can tell. And if I'm wrong, do let me know in the comments, but I can't see that it changes anything else. But it does do it very, very well without a performance impact. And that looks like, I don't care what anyone says, that is a typical autumn day in the UK and in London in particular. Looks great. So guys, that's my 2 cents on this program. It's really down to you. 25 quid or dollars is, you know, it's not a small amount. It's not a large amount. I don't know. It depends on how you feel about this. But there you go. Hopefully I've presented it and I've given you enough to chew over. I like it. My final thoughts are I like it. I wish we could change them real time and without exiting the sim. Sadly, that's not to be at the moment. And there you go. I think it adds it makes the sim look pretty and adds another layer of realism to it. There you go, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks again for tuning in. I really do appreciate your support. I will see you all before Christmas. So I hope you're getting into the Christmas spirit, and I hope you're staying safe. You know, I've seen the news. It looks pretty bad over there in the UK, and luckily here we don't seem to have any cases of the new variant, but it's coming. We all know that. I hope you're vaccinated. I'm not here to preach. Just stay safe. Stay close to your loved ones, but not too close. And you know what I mean. Anyway, I'll see you in the next video. Take care, guys.